Hey guys, Scheming Off the Grid here. It is time to put a lid on 2019. Welcome to our year in review. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking the Rusty Nail by Fremont Brewery. It's a limited release Imperial Oatmeal Stout aged in bourbon barrels.
I'm ready for this one. You know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and welcome to the 2019 year in review.
Hey everybody, DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, and you're watching Gaming Off the Grid. Remember, everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
All right, here we go. This is the last episode of 2019. It's unbelievable, and this is the second year in review we've done.
That's so crazy because I feel like we just did the last one. Like, man, time is flying, but also we're getting so much stuff done, and we're having such a blast. It's insane how much fun and how much work we're doing. It's they keep going up. Like, it's crazy.
It was a wild ride this year. We met a lot of awesome people. We had a lot of great memories. And we really want to kind of look back at the year that was 2019 from a gaming perspective. We'll talk a little bit about the channel, but talk about things that stood out that were released in 2019 or didn't stand out throughout the year, and kind of recap it and put a lid on this thing so we can go stomping and romping into 2020. So we're going to start off on the negative side of the coin. You know, we don't do much negativity here, but in video games, the video game industry, there's always some types of disappointment. What was the most disappointing thing for you in 2019 from a video game release?
Okay, this is going to shock some people, and it's probably going to piss some people off, but I'm going to say Arcade 1-Up. And here's why. We initially got one. We got the Final Fight arcade cabinet in our room, and at first we loved it. At first it was awesome. It's a sweet cabinet for what it is. Here's why it's my biggest gaming disappointment is because our screen went out for no reason. We had probably less than 10 hours of playtime on it, and literally the screen just stopped working. It wouldn't turn on, and we tried contacting Arcade 1-Up, and they wouldn't do anything about it. It was just like...
They offered us to buy a new screen.
Yeah, and it was like... What? Like, how... I feel like it could just be a freak incident, but... we've also heard from other people that it's happened to them, and they get it just in box, and the screen doesn't work.
We got a close friend who bought a Mortal Kombat cab, and the screen was dead on arrival. So this may be... it's interesting you went with this pick. It may be an isolated issue. The concern, I think, for both of us is A, the lack of customer service, and B, long term, when you're a retro gamer, you're a collector. You want, I want to, when I purchase this, I want to be able to play this 5-10 years from now. Don't know. I'm skeptical.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's scary. So that's my biggest disappointment of 2019. What is yours?
You know, for the most part, I wasn't overly disappointed a ton. I would say there was a game, though, that I was really excited about, because we do a lot of co-op stuff. Yeah. And I thought this game was going to be way better than it was. We ended up picking up the version on the Nintendo Switch, but I believe it's on all platforms. And that's Rico.
Yes.
It's a first-person shooter, and I love cel-shaded graphics. I'm just a big fan of them. They've been almost overdone, but I never get sick of that style. And it's got that style. I thought it was going to be a good split-screen first-person shooter. It's by no means a bad game, but it's a little redundant. Once you've played it for an hour or two, it's like... You've seen everything.
Yeah, and it feels like you're just doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Initially, when we played this game, though, I was like, dude, this is sweet. This is awesome. And then it just kind of lost its taste, and I don't think we've touched it since.
We haven't, and it was one of those games that was kind of a sleeper game. I thought it was really going to be a game that would come out and really deliver on that couch co-op front. Yeah. And I don't want to say don't pick it up if you find it at a good price, but we got it like when it launched, and didn't live up to those expectations.
It was kind of a disappointment. Yeah. So now let's move past the negativity, and let's jump into our biggest gaming surprise. What surprised you from 2019?
You know, I guess I shouldn't say that this is like a big surprise, because anytime Nintendo puts their name on something, it tends to do well. Except for Virtual Boy Wii U, things like that. But the success of the Switch Lite is very puzzling to me. I don't understand it. And I do understand it does fit some people's needs. Yes. I get it. If you're traveling a lot, if it's like your second Switch in your household, if you've got young kids.
Young kids, yeah.
But I don't get it. It's called the Switch. I guess maybe I'm missing the point of what that means. But to me, you can switch between your home console, TV, and taking it on the go.
Handheld.
That is the selling point. And I don't know, I guess I thought that it would be a little more niche, the success, but it seems to be
doing great.
Doing very well. And so it makes me think I'm missing something.
Well, I don't get it either, because Nintendo was trying to get out of the handheld game, They quit doing the 3D, 3DS or whatever it was called, And
Well,
now
that's-
they brought this back.
I
handheld.
don't think they were trying to get out of the game. I think what they were trying to do is control both games with one platform.
Oh.
That's what I think they were trying to do. I think
I mean,
were
they
like,
are smart.
Yeah, I think they were like, well, we're splitting sales here between DS, which is on the downhill slope of its life cycle. Why not control both spaces with one console? So the number of copies they're selling of games is basically hitting both markets.
Oh yeah, and if you have 2 consoles, you're buying 2 copies of a game.
Yeah.
They're doing great. Ah man, that's a huge surprise. My biggest gaming surprise has to be Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. When this game dropped, I was like, dude, this game is sweet. I mean, I loved the first one and the second one, and like it's a fun co-op game, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. It blew me away. I actually got addicted to this game, and I took it home. The Switch disappeared a lot. I spent so much time with it, and
I think you beat it in like less than a week. Like,
yeah,
it was crazy.
It took my breath away, and I did not expect it to. I expected to have fun with it, but not to that level, and that's my biggest gaming surprise.
Yeah.
That game's awesome.
And you know it's a good game when the game's flawed. There's camera issues.
Oh yeah, it's not a perfect game.
And I think, going into it, we were both excited, but we thought, it might get a little redundant because of 1 and 2. We've played those a lot. But something about this game has so much charm. And the other thing that I think is worth noting, especially from your perspective, I would say mine too, is we're both DC comic fans. We're not
Yes.
really Marvel guys.
No, so it's weird.
Yeah, when you get into a game like that, you just go into like an abyss. Because with that and Odyssey, it was like, guess I'll never see the Switch again.
The Switch is frequently stolen from GotG Studios, and he plays it everywhere he goes. Yes, everywhere he goes.
I was not going to bed on time. I was late to work. I was not editing. It was bad.
Yeah.
So 2020, please have a game that does this to me again.
Yeah,
please.
it gets out of control. A category of games that I think we both like spending a lot of time with is the indie games, because some
Yes.
of them lean more retro, and I would say we like that style,
Yeah.
from beat 'em ups, shooters, things like that. So what was your favorite indie game that you played this year? And you guys got to keep in mind, this is our best of. There's no way we have time to play every freaking indie game. So if you're thinking like, oh, why didn't they pick this? Well, we probably didn't play
probably
it, right?
didn't play
So
it.
this is the best of what we played. Just kind of get that out there.
My best indie game from 2019, it technically came out before 2019, but it didn't come to the Nintendo Switch till 2019, and that's Cuphead. This is a lot of people's favorite game of all time. This game's so awesome. The art style is incredible. The music's great. It's a great co-op game, and this game is so freaking hard. This game is perfect.
It is, and I think, the game is painstakingly hard. But that's okay if a game is fair.
Yeah.
This game is fair. Its difficulty isn't because it's cheap or unfair. If you die, it's because you shit the bed.
Yeah.
Like, don't get it twisted. You suck. Get better at the game. And there's that aspect of it. I love that pick, man.
It is a great game. Now, what is your indie game of the year?
When I get going on a retro game, there's no stopping me. I want to find every nook and cranny. I want to perfect it, right? So I've put a lot of time into Contra 3, the Alien Wars.
But that didn't come out this year.
It didn't, but Blazing Chrome did.
Ooh.
And this game, there's a lot of reasons why. So I think it does a great job of paying homage to Alien Wars and a little bit of hardcore, I feel like, right? So that's awesome. 16-bit Contra games, hell yeah, run and gun, that's cool. But then the experience we had when we beat it, we were at Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and we got to beat this game with BK and Chris from Telesplash Gaming.
Yes.
It was one of those things. We're on vacation. We should be out. We should be partying. We literally, from like early evening till like 3 in the morning, played this game until we beat
just
it.
sat in our hotel
Yeah.
room, just hanging out, playing this game, taking turns.
Literally was like I was a 10-year-old kid again. The con was the next day. We might not have went. Like, I don't think we all had that look in our eyes like, dude, we're going to kick this game's ass tonight and nothing's going to stop us.
No,
and we
that's
got
all
that,
that mattered.
We got that W thanks to Chris.
Thanks to
Telesplash
yeah,
Gaming.
he's the one that grinded through it.
It's nice when you meet a YouTuber, right? So Chris has been our friend for a long time. I don't know if he's a good gamer or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just a good fellow, right? He's a badass gamer.
He's
I
super
love when
good.
you meet people and you're like, I actually know how to play games too. He doesn't just talk behind the screen. He actually knows how to kick some ass. He's really good. I don't know what the measuring stick is for beating a lot of games in a year, but with the amount of content we push out, dude, I think we beat more than 40 games together.
Yeah, which is insane. It's not we're playing games at our houses. No, this is together channel
Yeah.
time we're putting into games.
And so outside of this, we also probably beat games on our own
Yeah.
accord, right? This is games we beat together. What was your favorite?
Man, that's so tough. We beat so many amazing games, but I think the game I'm gonna have to go with is Nex Machina, or Nex Machina, however you say it. First off, this game is amazing. It's an awesome co-op, just twin stick, freaking beautiful.
It's a must-own game.
It's so incredible, but it's so hard. And we got our asses handed to us on this game, but we did not give up. We kept freaking
Yeah.
going up to the battle and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it, and we finally beat it. I think we beat it on a live stream, and wow, this game is I'm just glad that we were able to beat it and get that chip on our shoulder. But that's my favorite game by far.
If you're into shooters or twin stick shooters, you've got to play this game. It's a game we will go back to for sure because we got our asses beat so bad that it's like now I want to go back and like, okay, we got you. Such a fun game. For me, the one we beat, this may be a cop-out, but Super Mario World. I've really enjoyed that series because you started on Mario 64 being your first Mario game. Actually, your first Mario game after Dr. Mario. But that's not like a mainline series. So to be able to go back to those 8-bit and 16-bit games with you, first off, it's just been a true joy because a lot of it, like, you're learning from scratch. And I know you make jokes a lot on the channel, like, that you suck at video games. Dude, you don't. Like, you're really good. Like, this stuff, you gotta understand, we're beating these games. We've no-deathed a couple of these games.
Yeah.
And this is your first bout. On top of all this channel bullshit we're doing.
Yeah, we put a lot of time into Super Mario World, and that game is beautiful, it's incredible, but there's so many unique and weird things you have to learn here and there, and like little secret passageways that as a first-time player, that's kind of hard to learn, and like the tail and the cape or whatever it is, that stuff's kind of tricky to learn.
Yeah, the flying mechanic is a little goofy for people for the first time because you got to kind of swoop it, right? That was so much fun. I can't think of a moment that I enjoyed more because, obviously the viewers don't know, but we set up to film that playthrough video probably 10 to 15 different times.
We did.
And we would get through to a certain point. We were really trying to no-death it. Eventually, we settled with putting a video out that we didn't no-death it. I think it was a 1-credit clear.
Yeah.
And then we live streamed the Super Nintendo Switch app thing and no-deathed it like a week later.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, we couldn't do that in the episode? Come on.
It's like you took the pressure off us, we could take care of it. But I've just really enjoyed, that's the one that stands out the most to me, but that whole series.
Oh, that whole series is so much fun, and I'm excited to continue that series, and the next game, I believe, is Mario 64.
It is, so it's like I'm now, this next year, going to be coming into your era,
yes,
right? And that's going to be really neat.
I'm excited for that. So now let's talk about Beer of the Year. Holy crap, we've not only played a lot of games, but we've drank a lot of beer, and on top of that, we've drank a lot of delicious, amazing beer.
Yeah, we have been so spoiled from a beer standpoint. We've met a lot of cool people that are also beer fans.
Yeah.
That, really good friends of ours that like recommend things or, have sent us things. And for me, the beer of the year, it's a fine line. I'm going to go with the Hop and Frog Taurus the Tyrant.
Oh, the triple oatmeal Russian Imperial Stout. Oh my gosh.
We got this beer gifted to us from BK. It was one of the few beers that we've got as a gift that I was able to have more than once.
Yes.
We got to try it when we were down at Mo Game Con. Then we tried it on the channel. And I can't give a super technical review of it because that was
so long
way
ago.
Back in August, September when we did it. But I do remember I probably said in the episode it's a top 3 or 5 stout that I've ever had.
Yeah,
and that's so true. It was so thick. The mouthfeel was unbelievable. I remember it was like thicker than Valvoline. And it was like motor oil. And the flavor was just so robust, and you could taste the layers of what they were wanting you to taste. And man, it's goes down as one of the best Imperial stouts in memory that I've had, and is my beer of the year for 2019. So BK, cheers, man. Thanks a bunch.
That was in my consideration, man. It took me so long to finally pick a beer because, BK gave us so many great beers. Our friend Joe Wallace gave us so many great beers. We've had so many great local beers.
Captain Dooner. We've got so many beers.
So many. And I was just like, but a lot of them I've only had once, and I want to try again because, sometimes you have it once and it's awesome, sometimes you have it again and it sucks. So that was kind of in consideration. The beer that I'm going with for 2019, my beer of the year, is Hipster Juice by Reclaimed Rails. It's a hazy IPA. This is probably one of the best hazy IPAs I've ever tasted, and it's from a local, smaller brewery, and it's so good.
Dude, what's funny is we came together with a list of 5, and that was kind of how we were doing it, and we almost had all the same beers.
Yeah,
and that
it was
one
the same 5.
And I always say on the channel, I'm not the biggest IPA fan. I picked that beer. That was a really good brew, and on top of that, I don't know if this plays into it for you. It does for me a little bit. That was the first episode we'd ever filmed at a brewery.
Yes, so yeah, that does come into play.
Yeah, and I remember not knowing what to think, and we know a couple of the guys, actually the 2 owners, we know them fairly well, but we just went in there kind of open-minded. What do they have? Tried a couple of the beers that I really thought I would like, and I did, the darker stuff, but I was like, oh yeah, those are good. Man, when that Hipster Juice hit,
Yeah, so first time filming at a brewery, first time trying Hipster Juice, and we've had it a lot more.
You just heard the drum roll. It is time for us to pick our game of the year.
Yes.
Now, full disclosure, This does not mean that this is the end-all, be-all game of the year. All that is subjective. On top of that, we haven't played every game released in 2019.
Yeah, same. Like, we don't even have an Xbox One, so all that stuff's out of the question.
Yeah.
We haven't played it.
And, you know, we've maybe played 5 to 10% of the games that came out in 2019. But of the games we played and beat, your game of the year.
My game of the year, I've already talked about it once. And I've already said the reason why I loved it so much, and that is Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3. And we did say, yeah, this game has flaws. This game isn't perfect, but from having a game that just takes me over, that's how I felt with Mario Odyssey. I was like, dude, that's an incredible game because of what it does to me. I was addicted, and this game is so much fun. That's my game of the year by far.
And it fits what we do. I mean, that co-op piece is awesome too.
Yeah, the couch co-op, up to 4 players.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
It is definitely a good pick. For me, I mean, I had it narrowed down to 2. I really wanted to go with Ritual of the Night.
Ooh.
But when I think back to the times that we have had together playing games, one rose to the top as the cream of the crop. Yeah. Resident Evil 2, the remake. Now that may be a cop-out. You may be sitting over there saying, a remake can't be your game of the year. You know what? It can. This game did it right. This is the remake of all remakes.
Yeah, it revolutionized it.
It did. And we're all about playing games together. And this was such a fun game to go through like in a co-op way. Now this game isn't couch co-op, but we just trade the controller back and forth every time it saves or every level. And we work through the puzzles, and it makes it cool because you're looking for stuff while the other guy's playing. Like, oh, dude, go over here.
Yeah, did you not see that there's a chest over there?
Yeah.
Or, like, someone can be like, oh, I remember that code for that chest. Or,
Yeah.
And that was in my consideration, too, for Game of the Year because, dude, that remake was incredible. It set the bar for remakes. It is so beautiful, so well done, and such a great game.
It is, and it is like, you know, it's a complete rework of Resident Evil 2. It's not like an HD shoe shine.
They redid it.
They redid it. They did it so well. It has me so jacked up for Resident Evil 3.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there's not enough I can say good about that game. What's your episode of the year? Which one are you the most proud of?
Episode of the year out of 140 episodes. This one also took me a long time to figure out. I was like going back and forth because, you know, we did so many episodes. Like the first time we filmed at Reclaimed Trails, top 5 Shmups. That was the first time we filmed at a brewery, or the time we filmed at Flick's Brewhouse. That was awesome,
yeah.
You know? Or like the Ice Bath Challenge.
Oh,
like,
dude.
We had so many great, funny memories and things that relate to episodes and milestones. And this one is going to be one of those memories, and that's going to be Contra Rogue Corps. Not because of the game, I mean, I enjoy the game, but because of the experience behind it. We got invited to Seattle by Konami to review this game and get it early, and it was just so surreal. I still can't believe it happened. It was probably a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and that ties into that episode, and I'm never going to forget that weekend, that trip, that game, because of that. So that is going to be my episode of the year.
That was definitely in my consideration, but for kind of similar reasons. Like another moment that I feel like I can't believe we were able to do was this year-end Games That Moved Us collaboration.
Oh, yes. Man, that was a great episode.
Yeah, it's one of those type of deals. We maybe said it in some other episodes, but if you would have told me when we filmed last year's year-end review that we would have been able to do a collab with those folks that were in that episode, I would have told you were nuts.
And then on top of that, do a beer review with Kenzilla
Yeah.
in that episode. I still don't believe it, and I still don't believe everyone that we've met through this YouTube journey, the bigger channels, the smaller channels, all the friends we've made. It's insane.
It is surreal, you know, and like not to really. This is a year-end review. Not to. I brought something along that I want to get out, just because this is like, I don't know, not to get overly emotional, but like we don't know what the hell we're doing.
No, we don't.
And it's weird. I don't know why I'm getting choked up while I bring this up, but we hang this inside of our front door in this room every time so we can see this when we walk in. And like just looking back at this year, like these were our goals. We sat down and we determined this at the end of last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through these. 500 subscribers.
That was our goal for 2019. We're almost at 2,000.
That was our goal. 200 views per video. You know, I think give or take. I mean, I know we're over that. We wanted to hit 150 uploads.
We hit 200.
We hit 200. 30,000 overall views.
We're almost at 100,000.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
And down at the bottom, we're thinking, man, we might be able to get here by the end of the year. 1,000 subscribers. We wanted to finish our console generation series. That's been done for like 3 or 4 months now. Attend 3 gaming conventions because we wanted to meet some new friends, man. And
check.
Mo Game Con, Midwest Gaming Classic,
And
Portland Retro
Retro.
Gaming Expo. And then this next part I'm really proud of too, because we don't we set our plan, we work our plan, but we're still agile.
Yes.
We have a couple things on here that I think were bad ideas, maybe future ideas for something else. We wanted to have a video series called One Hot Minute.
Launch One Hot Minute.
It's going to be like a 1-minute recap of the weekly gaming news.
And it was just going to be no cuts, just as much as we can say in 1 minute. It was going to be awesome. We were so jacked up about it. But then we realized that's a terrible idea because YouTube's all about watch time.
Yeah.
And a minute video is not a good
And then we
upload.
like tried doing it a little bit.
And it's so hard.
much
Yeah.
work. So hard. And we're not even really a gaming news channel. So it was like off brand. It wasn't what we wanted to do. So we moved off of that. And then something we'll probably revisit at some point. We were pretty hot and heavy about launching a podcast. But then we kind of felt like things were getting some traction and we needed to really just stay home.
Stay in our lane.
Yeah, stay in our lane, do what we do. But dude, just two guys a year ago, we don't know what we're doing.
No, we
This
don't.
just proves to you we don't know what the hell we're doing.
And looking back, like, I was like, dude, I think we were stretching for some of those goals. We were like, dude, how cool would it be if we hit 1,000
Yeah,
subscribers? Because at this point last year, we were at 300 subscribers.
Yeah.
Like, it was...
It's crazy.
It's crazy to look back. It's only been a year, but we've done so much.
Yeah, we're two different guys at this point than we were then. We spent a lot of time together. I wouldn't change it for anything. I wouldn't change any second that we've got to spend with all you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Cons, hanging
yeah.
out.
And all of that, man. Live streams, the fact that you guys tune in, episode after episode, week after week, I'm blown away.
Yes.
And I'm truly blessed and love working with you.
Cheers.
And man, cheers to 2020. All right, we got to change the topic and talk about some beer. I'm getting a little too emotional, getting ahead of myself here. This beer was sent to us by Joe Wallace. It's the Rusty Nail, and Joe has told us this is one of his favorite Imperial Stouts of all time. So thanks for setting the bar for us, Joe. But we really appreciate you sending us this beer. What do you think of it,
Oh,
man?
wow. This is so good. It's so thick. It's so chewy. There's so much flavor. Man, this is definitely a dessert beer. Definitely a beer that you enjoy over a long period of time. Man, this is good. This is a good freaking beer.
Yeah, I really enjoy this. I would say this beer compares very closely to the Goose Island Bourbon County. It may have even a little bit more going on. Not saying that it's better than that.
But there's more flavor.
Yeah.
There's like licorice I taste, and I think there's like cinnamon bark in here.
I'm getting a spice on this for sure. It's so good. It's a really, and you know what, the alcohol component isn't a problem. And I'm
This
a
is
big
really smooth.
oatmeal stout fan.
Yeah.
So I love the oatmeal component here.
And I love how chewy it is because of the oatmeal. It makes it thicker. This is really good, Joe.
Malty. Yeah, it's got a very, I'm thinking, you said something about cinnamon. I'm thinking there is something like a cinnamon and sugar, maybe a molasses
Ooh, yeah.
on the finish there that I'm getting. This is a divine Imperial Stout. You know, since we announced our beer of the year, maybe this is in consideration already for 2020.
Yeah, this might be because this is a great way to end the year.
It
It's
is
a great way to start the year.
Man, this is definitely up there with the upper echelons of stouts I've ever had. So, Joe, cheers, brother. We really freaking appreciate it, and what a great way to end our year in review.
Yeah, what a fantastic beer for a fantastic year. We're just tying it all together.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you for everything, man. We put a lot of fucking time into this thing. We do. I didn't want to cuss, but it needed to be said. We do. And we wouldn't do it if it wasn't for the engagement, and the fruits of the labor we're putting in are greater than we could have ever imagined. As far as a personal connection standpoint, we're meeting so many like-minded folks, from the viewers, from the other channels. It's just literally surreal and more than I could have ever imagined when we started this.
It's so surreal. If you would have told me before we started the channel that you're going to do this, you're going to meet all these people, you're going to have best friends, you're going to... But I'd be like, dude, no way. This is YouTube. This is stupid. And not only are we putting in a ton of work, it doesn't ever feel like work because it is so much fun.
Yep.
Yeah, we're working almost every day. We're working in all of our free time. But we're freaking having amazing beers. We're being able to talk to you guys. We're laughing a ton. You know, we like... Man, this has been a great year, and I'm so excited to see what 2020 brings.
I don't know what can top it, man. This is amazing.
I don't know either, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep drinking beer. We're gonna keep working hard. And we're gonna keep hanging out with you guys because that's what that's all that matters.
There's too many thank yous to go mention individual people. If you're watching this, you're one of them.
Yes.
And we really appreciate it. We always appreciate you guys tuning in and subscribing to the channel. Again, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
We will see you in 2020 right here on Gaming Off the Grid. What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking the I was not ready. That was so quick. Okay. Woo.
What are we drinking today?
Today we're drinking the Rusty Nail by Fremont Brewery. Brewery. Fremont Brewing. Fremont Brewing.
Brewery. Oh, that's my favorite brewery.
Oh, we had such a productive, such a busy, such a thriving. Oh, that's.
Did you just get a mouthful of your own
Yep.
brand?
Yep. It went right in. Ooh.